This conference will now be recorded.
What do we do? Basically, two types here. One is implementation, second is support. One good thing on the success factors is every customer whom the success factors application is implemented, they should also have the support consultant working with them. Okay, so that means all the customers across the globe will have some consultants working with them for the support as well. So implementation starts from the scratch. So what do we do in implementation? SuccessFactors is a global product which is not fully developed. So what will we do in the system? We configure the system as per customer's requirement. We configure the system as per customer's requirement. Okay, so we have to first go get the requirement. So interact with the customer, find out their requirement, what do they want to have in the system, and we configure that in the system. That is called the implementation. And we hand it over to the customer. Once the project is completed and once we hand over it to customer, now either the same team would be supporting them or a different team would be supporting them. Okay. And who would be doing the implementation? Implementation is generally done by implementation partner. It's done by implementation partner. For whom we are doing? We are doing for customers. And what are we? We are consultants. These are these are part of your implementation. Now, when I say implementation partner, who are these implementation partner? Implementation partners are those who are authorized to implement success factors for customers. Who is a customer? Customer is an end user. Example, Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola has got, let's say, 10,000 users and they want to have success factors for their employees. So Coca-Cola is customer or call them client. And who implements success factors? Success factors is a SAP product. That doesn't mean that for all the customers, SAP will implement success factors. No, SAP cannot implement success factors for all the customers across the globe because we have thousands of customers across the globe. And for all of them, SAP cannot implement. So SAP gives uh, authorization to implement success factors for customers. The companies like Accenture, Deloitte, IBM, Capgemini, Cognizant. So these are the big names in the market. There are many other small companies as well. So these companies have to take first license from SAP to implement success factors. Once they have license to implement success factors, they are called the implementation partner. And implementation partner hires consultants and they will be assigning them with the projects. Let's say today I'm working for IBM and Coca-Cola is our customer. So I'm asked to implement success factors for Coca-Cola. So as a consultant, no, I work for Deloitte, but Deloitte's project is Coca-Cola, so I'll go implement success factors for customer Coca-Cola. Once the project is completed, okay, now we also have another project called Pepsi. So I was asked to implement Pepsi for Pepsi company. So SF for Pepsi company. So I'll go implement for Pepsi. And then once it is completed, we have another project, Bank of America will be asked to go implement for that. So consultants will be working for customers, for different customers. Okay. Any doubts here? Implementation.
No.
So what do we do here? We get requirements from customer. configure the system, and then hand over. This is our role. Now, once the consultant hands over the project to customer, the customer also needs support consultants who would be working with them. Now, why do we need support consultant? What would be the role of support consultant? This is implementation consultant. So here we also have support consultant role. Some projects we only support. What they do? They do the incident management. Incident management means once the SuccessFactors application is implemented for customer, any issues that they get or any analysis that we have to do or any bug fixes that we have to do or all of these can be done through incident management. Customer will be creating a ticket and that ticket is called incident. Customer will create an incident. We have to fix those incidents. Now, what are those incidents? Maybe some issue in the system, or maybe some issue in the configuration, or maybe a customer has not understood the process. So it could be anything. So customer creates a ticket, and that ticket we have to resolve. That is called incident management. Again, we have priorities like P1, P2, P3. Okay, P1 which is high priority, or P2 medium priority, or P3 low priority, depending on the scenarios. Like they want to fix this immediately, so they'll create a ticket with P1. So depending on the service level agreements, SLAs, we may have to go resolve the issue. Okay, either immediately or can take some time. That's first thing. Second is change management. Second is change management. While implementing for the customer, let's say the implementation consultant now configured the system. Let's take approval process. So as per transfer process, as per transfer process, all the approvals. When somebody is being transferred, what is a transfer? You move an employee from one location to other location or one department to other department. Okay, we call it transfer of an employee. Now, while transferring the employee, you should take two levels of approval. First, manager has to approve, and then department head has to approve. So, say these are the two levels. Now, this was configured by the consultant. Okay. Now, the same process they want to implement for promotion as well, but three levels of approval. With three levels of approval: manager, department head, and then HR manager as well. Three levels of approval. So this is already implemented in system, and this we have to implement. This is a change in the system. This is a change in the system. It can be a simple change, like you want to have one field in personal information or one field in some portlet. You go see what is the impact. So what is that field? What do they want to do? They want to input some text. They want to input the date. They want to have it as a drop down. So what do they want to have? So you need to get that requirement and implement that in the system. That's the change management. Anything that is to be changed in the system. So it could be adding a new functionality, adding a new feature, or removing the existing functionality through configuration. That is change management. And the last is release management. Success factors updates the product every 6 months, once in 6 months. Okay, that means twice a year. So when the release happens, we should go analyze, see and analyze what are the new features that have come in the system. Identify those features, understand those features, and explain it to the customer. If you have to do or make some changes in the system, you go and make the changes in the system. That's called the release management. Every 6 months, the product, okay, will be updated to the version. So this is similar to any other product that we use in our mobiles. It could be a Facebook application or WhatsApp application or a Gmail application. So they update the product with the new functionalities, or if they have identified any bugs, they'll fix those issues. But here in success factors, it happens in phases. Okay, once in 6 months, twice in a year. Okay, so that's the role of a support consultant. When you're hired as a support, when you are hired as a SF consultant, you can be either placed in implementation or you can be placed in support. Okay, people think implementation is difficult. Support is easy. No, support is difficult because we need to analyze a lot. We should have a deep knowledge of the product. Now, they are equally important, both the implementation and support. Okay, if something comes up, you should know where is the issue, how to fix that issue. You should know that. Okay, clear? Any doubts here? Yes, no.
No.
Okay, no doubts. I know these are all the new terms for you. Okay, so I don't expect all of you to know everything. So if you want to know anything else or anything more, feel free to ask me. Okay, do not hesitate. Okay, now all of these things you should know before you join as a consultant for any of the implementation partner. Okay, now next topic is the landscape. How many of you know what is a landscape? How many of you know what is a landscape? Nobody knows?
Yes, landscape is a system like development quality and PRD.
Hmm. The arrangement of systems in a sequence of implementation. So when you do implementation for a customer, we don't do it in one system. We'll have multiple systems. And the success factors or recommended systems are development, quality, and production. Success factors recommends us to have, or when you subscribe for success factor application, by default you get these three systems: development, quality, and production. So when you get the requirements from customer, you first go configure it in the development system, and you do the unit testing whether the configuration that you have done is working or not. So you just do the unit testing in the development. You move those changes to quality system where the configuration is copied or moved to quality, and there you have to do the actual testing here, regression testing, or no, the testing, the actual testing is done, all the negative scenarios or a positive scenarios, whether the functionality is working fully or not. Here you will just do the unit testing, which is simple. You have configured a field, whether that field is showing up or not. But here you will go see what is that field, what you can input, how many characters you can input, whether it is accepting future date or a past date or a current date. So all of those scenarios you will be testing in the quality system. And even your customer will be doing the testing in the quality. So everything customer has to test. When a customer gives a requirement, okay, and after we have configured that, they have to go and approve it to be moved to production. Only if you have got the customer approval to move to production, we'll be moving it to production. We will not do
Venu, I
any
have one
kind of.
doubt.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, in SAP we have transport. Through transport, we are moving our changes to net server. Okay, but in SAP, sorry, in SF, how will move our changes to another server?
We have something called instance synchronization.
Okay.
Yeah, instant synchronization. Through instant synchronization, we'll be moving the system. We will be moving the configuration from one system to the other system. So usually
Mm-hmm.
have dev, quality, and production. So first we'll have to pair the systems. In the synchronization, we have to pair the systems. Dev to quality. Dev is the source system, quality is the target system. That means you can only move the changes from development to quality, not from quality to development, because dev is the source and quality is the target. And from quality to production, quality is the source, production is the target. So you have to pair these two as well.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go do the synchronization between development and quality and production.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can move it to
This,
development to quality if you feel that configuration is completed. Just go ahead.
yeah, this synchronization done by consultant, right? Not basis team.
No. So we don't have different those many roles here in success factors. Generally in SAP, we have technical consultant or ABAP
Okay.
consultant. We have functional consultant. We have basis consultant. We have GRC or security. Okay. And we have workflow consultant separately. We have these many roles in SAP. But in success factors, we don't have these things. We only have one role called functional consultant who would be doing all the activities. The developments or customizations are done by functional consultant. Implementation is the configuration is done by implementation consultant. Even the setup is done by implementation consultant. Security part is taken care by functional consultant. Workflows, the approvals, they are taken care by functional consultant. So we don't have those many roles in success factors. Okay.
Okay.
Now, so it is when you subscribe for success factors application, you get three systems: development, quality, and production. Now, sometimes you may also see additional systems depending on your customer's requirement. Pre-production is a copy of production. Test system separately, or no, can be anything. Projects, you name it, anything. Name it, anything. You'll see 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 systems for customer. Minimum is 3: dev, quality, and production. Other than these 3, you can also have additional systems. When customer want to have additional system, let's say they want to have a copy of the pre-production or a copy of production to pre-production. Yes, we can configure that. Again, they'll have to subscribe for the additional instances or additional systems. Okay. This is customer's choice. This is success factors recommendation, and any additional system, it's customer's requirement. Now, customer 1 of 3 systems. Customer 2, we got 4 systems. Customer 3, 5 systems. Okay. It can be any number. Everybody will have development, quality, and production. Additionally, maybe pre-production or maybe test or maybe pre-production and test separately. Okay, so that's purely depending on the customer's choice. They have to pay for the additional system that they want to use. Again, when you have additional system for pre-production, from where do you want to configure or where do you want to move, synchronize the data, either from production to pre-production or quality to pre-production, you have to pair the systems. Okay, it can be from anything, any system. It can be from dev or quality or from production. Now, we have two types of systems. We have two types of systems in SuccessFactors. The first one is provisioning, and second is called instance. First is called the provisioning, and second is instance. Provisioning, you enable the services that are required for customer. Meaning, they want to know SuccessFactors has got a lot of modules: Employee Central, PMGM, compensation, learning, and so on. Within Employee Central, there are many features. We have dependent management, okay. We have position management. We have global assignment. We have concurrent assignments, okay. We have contingent workforce. So these are all the topics of Employee Central. Now, what is global assignment? If customer has got their operations in different countries, when an employee is moved from one country to other country for a short or a long-term assignment, we call it global assignment. And this is not required for every customer, only for a customer who has their operations in different countries and who has a policy of sending the employees to different countries. So first go enable that service if you want to see that global assignment in instance. And only the certified consultants can log into provisioning. Only certified consultants. Here we only do a 5 to 10% of the configuration. Rest of the 90% configuration is done here. 90 to 95% of configuration is done in the instance. Now here anybody can log in, not only certified consultants. Even if you are not certified, you can log into instance. End users can log into instance. Anybody with user credentials can log into instance. Today I create a user, so that user can log into instance. But for logging into provisioning, you need to have certification. Certification in at least one module, either in EC, which is Employee Central, PMGM, performance management, or compensation, or learning. So in one of the modules, you should have a certification to log into provisioning. So if you have certification at least in one module, now I have certification in Employee Central, I can log into provisioning. I will see all the features, not only Employee Central related, I will see all the features, PMGM or compensation or no. Now what we are doing, that's up to us. What we want to configure in the system, that's up to us. But you should have at least one module certification. Clear? Any doubts
Yes.
so far? Landscape, types of system, roles and responsibilities of a SuccessFactors consultant.
Here we will create the clients like development, quality, and production. Function consultant only.
Yes. So when a customer subscribe for a product for SuccessFactors, they get by default they get these three systems. Now pairing you have to do, configuration you have to do, testing you have to do.
Okay.
Okay. Now there will be a minimum job for basis consultant. Okay. Any other doubts? Yes, no?
No.
Okay. So anybody can log into instance. The end users, consultants, admins can log into instance and perform their job. Now, it depends on the role that is assigned to the employee or the user. When I log in as a consultant, I will have access to configuration. So everybody will be logging into same system, but the user credentials are different. So when I log into system as a consultant, I will have the configuration access, I'll have employee data access. I can do anything in the system. When an employee logs in, now let's say I'm an employee, I'm not a consultant, I'm an employee. I will not see any configuration. I will only see my data. I can go view my data, or if I have edit access of my data, like if I have to update my address, I have to update my contact information, I can go and update. There are some information which I can go view and edit. There is some information which I can only view. There's some information which I don't have access to view also. When a manager logs in, manager meaning supervisor. Let's say I'm a manager, I have 4 direct reports reporting to me. When I log in, I can do everything that employee is doing. Additionally, I have access to my direct reports data as well. If I have to transfer or if I have to change the salary of my direct report, I can go and do. When a HR manager logs in, HR manager is also an employee first. So HR manager will do all the activities that employee is doing. HR manager has got some direct reports. So HR manager can update their data as well. HR manager, it's a job of the HR manager, responsibility of the HR manager to update employee data, to hire employees into the system, to transfer employees into from system, to promote or to terminate. So all of these things are done by HR manager. So depending on the role that is assigned to the employees, you can perform the activities in the system. Okay, now all of this thing is controlled in RBP. There is a submodule in AC called RBP, role-based permissions. What permissions are to be granted to the role? That will be doing it in the system. Okay, now all the data that we configure or that we store in the system, so it gets stored in the database. It gets stored in the database, and these databases are hosted somewhere in the cloud, and we call these databases as data centers. Success Factors has got their servers across the globe. Okay, across the globe, and these servers are called the data centers. Each region, like in US, in India, or in Middle East, or the Asian countries, or Australia and New Zealand, because of the different time zones, they have split these data centers into different regions. Now all the customers of US, they will have their data lying in one of the data center, let's say, and we call them like DC4, DC5, DC8, etc. Let's say all the customers of US, they have their systems routing to data center 4. Okay, now if I have 100 customers in US, all of those 100 customers data will get stored in the different databases of data center 4. Let's say DC8 is for UK. So all the customers of UK, they will have their data in data center 8. And so on. DC10, DC12, DC22, DC43, DC55, you have different numbers. Okay. Now, into these data centers, now your both provisioning and instance will be in these data centers. Now here the systems are split into provisioning and instance. Again, your data center is also split into two parts. Preview data center and production data center. This is different. These are the types of systems: development, quality, production, pre-production, test, and production projects. These are the different types of systems. And here, this is different data centers. Within data center, you have both preview and production. Out of the three systems, production system or production instance or production provisioning will always be in production data center. Prod system. When I say system, both instance and provisioning. Both of them will be in production system, production data center. Okay. And dev and quality. One of it should be in preview and one should be in production. So dev will also be in production, quality will be in preview. At least one system should be in preview data center and the rest can be in production data center. Or sometimes if you have 2 or 4 systems like dev, quality, production and pre-production. So quality and pre-production in preview data center. Production and dev in production data center. So if we have one more instance, maybe it can be in prod, it can be in preview data center. So I have test system. So test system can be either in prod data center or in preview data center. That's purely choice of the customer. Where do they want to have the instance routing to? Either preview data center or production data center. Clear this concept? Yes or no?
Yes.
Why do they split
Like
their?
preview data center won't have instance and provisioning?
No. Every system will have both instance and provisioning.
Okay,
Whether
like
it is
preview also
preview
have
or
and production.
Hmm.
Okay. And the other thing, like you told, in instance, everybody can log in and see whether it's consultant, employee, supervisor, HR manager. So many people will be logging at the same time, won't load the instance server?
No. We have implemented success factors for a customer with 1 lakh employees also. Okay. So thousands of employees can log into system at a time. Nothing will happen. It has that capability of showing the data for all the employees at a time.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I have one doubt. In preview data center, only we can access the development or quality systems data, right? Not
Hmm.
production, PID data.
That
We
was.
can find.
Hmm.
Okay. Where we can do the testing data in preview.
What is testing? Testing or
Testing,
pasting?
testing,
Testing. So
testing.
it depends. Like
Yeah.
if your quality system is pre-production data center, you have to log into preview data, preview systems quality. Okay.
Mhm.
So all the data that you store, that gets stored in this preview data center. If you have logged into quality system, you made some changes or you hired some employees. So all of the data that we process, that gets stored in your preview data center because your quality is in preview.
Okay.
So production should always be in production systems. Rest of them can be in any data centers. Minimum of 1 to be in preview.
It totally depends on the client,
Yes.
customer. Yeah. Okay.
Hmm. Any doubts here? Others, is that clear? Manish, Amrita, Sarada. Even if you have joined in middle, you want me to explain again, I'll do that. Okay. Try to understand the concept. Now, why do we have two data centers, preview and production? Any guesses? Why should we have the data, quality data sitting in preview data center and production data sitting in production data center?
Is it for disaster recovery?
Sorry?
Is it for disaster recovery also?
Disaster recovery. So if something happens in production, will you be copying the data from quality or pre-production?
At least quality will be a copy of pre-production quality or
No.
pre-prod
Quali-
system. At
Quality
least
is a
you
test
have
system. Quality is a
that's a
test system.
pre-prod.
How can you?
Pre-prod is almost like the 90% data is similar to production.
No. It's not because of the disaster assessment, it is because of the release management. It's because of the release management. We discussed that every 6 months, success factors would be updating their systems, updating all of these systems. When the release happens, it always happens in all the instances or all the systems of preview data center of that region. And you will have a time of 1 month, 1 month plus 1 week or 1 month plus 10 days time to go analyze, test, and see if those are working fine or not. And after 1 month, those changes will be moved to production system because production is the actual system of the customers. Now, you may have only 1,000 employees here. You may have only 9,000 employees here, but actual system number of the employees of the organization will be in production system. And you will not have any test data here. You cannot go and test if something is working fine or not. No, you will not do any kind of testing in production system because production is the actual system with the actual data of employees. Now here in quality, you can hire some dummy employees just to test. These systems you can go test. Even in the development or in test system, you can go and add some dummy data. See whether it is working fine or not. But production will have the actual data always. So when the release happens, it happens in preview data center. That means all the customers of that data center. Now, let's take an example of say I have 10 different customers. This is preview. This is production. So every customer will have their instances in preview and production. So here we have, let's say, dev. we have production and quality. This customer, quality, prod and dev. Okay, this customer, quality and test. Customer, prod and dev. This customer will have quality and pre-prod. So different customers has got different instances. And these systems can be differently configured for different customers. So when the release happens, it happens in preview data center. This is prod data center. When the release happens in preview data center first, so we will see those changes in all of these systems. You'll see the changes in these systems. When you log into dev, you will see the new functionality. But at the same time, if you log into production, you will not see that change. Both of them are customers instances or customers no systems, but they don't see the change immediately in production and dev for this customer, production and quality for this customer. After 1 month, you will see the change in production as well. When the release happens in production data center, you will have the same configuration, same no screens in all of the instances. So SuccessFactors updates their applications twice in a year, and we call them 1H and 2H. 1H is first half, second half. It is from Jan to June. And this is July to December. Earlier, before 3 years, the release used to happen 4 times in a year, and we used to call them Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. Now, the recent times they have changed it to 2 releases, half-yearly releases, 1H and 2H. Okay, so when the release happens for the first half, okay, it generally happens in April in preview data center and May in production data center. Similarly, the second half release, it happens in October or November, October in preview and November or December in production. Okay, this 1 month, the gap of 1 month, like April, it happened in preview data center. When you log in, you'll see all the new features. Along with the old features, you will also see additional features, which you don't see in production in the month of April. So to see those changes in production system, you have to wait till May. So why do they have preview data center and production data center? It's because of the release management. And why do we have a gap of 1 month? So when the changes upgraded or updated in the preview systems, you have to go test, see what are those changes, understand what no changes have been implemented or where changes have been included in the release, test them whether it is working fine or not. Sometimes what happens is when they add some new functionality to the existing process, so maybe the process gets changed or maybe something gets broken. So you will have to go fix it, or you will have to create a ticket with SAP asking them to go and fix the issue or to stop it moving to production system. If you have identified some issue, okay, because of the new feature, maybe something which was working earlier is not working now because of the new feature what they have added. So what you have to do, you have to create a ticket asking them to hold that feature, or SAP will be fixing it before it moves to production system. If the issue is for all the customer, if the issue is really in the system, they will stop it moving to production system. So that's why we have a gap of 1 month. Clear on release management? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, clear.
how do we know what are getting updated? What are the new features in this release? Okay. So we have something called community.successfactors.com. Let me log into. They called community.successfactors.com. Let me log into community. Give me 1 minute. I'm logging into. Give me 2 minutes. Logging into community. Yeah, let me share. Okay, this is changed a bit actually. So last time, I think this release they have changed the portal as well. Okay. Now, when you go to community.sap.com, okay, this is community.sap.com/successfactors. You'll find all the information related to each and every module. You see here all SAP products, and then we are in under Employee Central. Okay. Now you see here product release information. Go click on product release information. Here you'll find the release resources, or if you see here, release schedule. Okay. View the upcoming planned preview and production release dates. So what are those? Just click on it. Just completely changed this one. Okay. So let me go here and see what's new we were in 2H 2022. In the 2H 2022, what are the new features that have come in the system? 2H preview release weekend details. Okay, let me open this as well. What's new? Okay, if I go here, you'll find all the information. I see here 2H 2022 preview instance upgrade windows. Now this is APJ. Okay, for APJ we have DC66, DC50, DC52, and DC30. So these are the data centers. And this gets updated on October 28, 3 p.m. And then you have MENA, which is DC 22, 23, DC 22 and 23, Dubai 1 and Riyadh 1. This happens on 28th, their time 7 p.m. UTC to 29th a.m. UTC. So these are the release timings that happens for the customer. This is preview. This is preview and this is production. You see, for APG, you see here it happened on October 28th. And then for the same APG DC66, it happens on December 9th in production. Clear? So these are the release dates for each and every data center. Clear? Yes or no? This is the release information only on the dates. We'll see what are the areas or what are the features, new features that have come in the last release. So what they do is before every release, if it is going to happen in preview release, if it is going to happen in preview data center, 1 week or 10 days before it happens in preview system, SuccessFactors would be releasing all the documents. They will also be conducting some webinars on the changes that are going to come in the system. So you can go download the content and see what are the new features that are going to come. And now once the release happens in the preview system, you see each release features, you compare that in the preview system. What is the change? How is it impacting the system? Okay, whether it is required for your customer or not, that we have to analyze in the preview. So that when it happens in the production, even if you have to take some action, you can do in production. First you do it in the preview and then in production. Now it happens for all the customers across the globe at the same time. Happens to all the customers of the globe at the same time, on the same day. You see here, October 28. It happens for all the customers on October 28. Clear? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, what are those release features? The examples of them that we'll see in tomorrow's session. The types of, again, release features that we'll see in tomorrow's session. So this is required for every consultant to know. What are the release features that have come in this particular release? Now you should get updated. Maybe there was something which there is something which is not existing earlier, but now it is available after this release. Maybe something which was there earlier, but now it is removed and it is replaced with something else. So as a consultant, both implementation and the support consultants, they should know what are those changes that have come in that release. Okay, so we'll stop it here for today and we'll continue tomorrow. Okay.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, sir.
Thank you
Okay,
very
sir.
much.
Thank you.